Division 1 action now as I take on me at the bottom of the screen. Super Nintendo Chalmers takes on Lorenzo Somma. I'm trying to be the giant killer here. You can see Lorenzo leads Division 1 on 32 points. I come in on 22 points. Straight up, he plays that Void card into Fountain of Renewal, so I know he's on that Psy Master Thopterist Storm deck. Island confirms it. I don't believe this deck normally plays counter spells main deck. You can see I kept a risky hand. My hand was kind of slow. If he was on an aggro deck, I'd be in trouble, so I'm pretty happy at this stage. I do not, though, really have a way to beat him game one. When I say that, I don't have counter spells or anything like that in my main deck, so if he resolves the Aetherflux Reservoir, you can see counters my commit to memory. If he resolves Aetherflux Reservoir, I have no way to stop him, particularly with the paradoxical outcome. So my key card here is that Vivictus Asmadi that you can see in my hand. Sadly, it doesn't have haste. I would really love it if there's some way to give my dragons haste. There probably is a card that does that. I have to look into it more. Vivardi, every time you attack, you destroy a permanent that you and the other player controls, and you both reveal the top card and put it into play. So if I'm going to win game one, I need to resolve that, and I need to start hitting his stuff. I know my next card, because of his commit memory, and my next card is Glorybringer, so I was a bit surprised he ran out Psy. I thought he must have a counterspell backup, but then he tapped out all his blue, so he doesn't. Even with the Inspiring Statuary, it gives all spells improvised, but it doesn't give you access to coloured mana, so he doesn't have the blue source. So I'm going to use Glorybringer to get rid of Psy, and I'm going to use Vivictus to get rid of an Inspiring Statuary. I really need to get rid of the statuaries because by enabling improvise, all of you can see his cheapo artifacts are all one drop, so you can kind of just tap that for mana to play them because they're colorless. It's very easy. So he's got one card in hand. I am going to be able to take down the second Inspiring Statuary next turn if he doesn't have anything going on, but he thinks long and hard about this. So he goes and digs for his Aetherflux Reservoir, so he can actually play it out now, but interestingly he does not. So I know his two cards in hand. One of them I don't know, sorry. I know what the other one is. Lathless Dragon Queen, just more power on the board, so I'm going to take down the Inspiring Statuary here. Well, no, I think I actually take down the Thopter off memory. Yeah, the reason I get the Thopter here is because I need to get the damage in as fast as possible because I know he's going to be dropping that Aetherflux Reservoir next turn. So I've got to get him as far away from 50 life points as I possibly can so that I can get an extra turn. If I can get another turn when he's got that out, I can use Vivictus to take it down. I don't really care too much about Psy because one, Glorybringer is coming off untapped next turn, so I can take him down. And the other one is that I think it's 4 Sweltering Suns in my main deck. So I can clean up the Thopters quite easily. He bounces my Vivictus, so now I'm in big trouble. So I have to think long and hard here. I've got two plays. One is to play Glorybringer and take down both Thopter and Psy, which would enable me to push through 14 damage, drop him to 6, and I'd have lethal next turn. But the other one is to play Vivictus, and I'd also have lethal next turn. But I also have the ability to take down his Aetherflux Reservoir. So I'm kind of gambling here. He's got one card left in hand. As long as it's not a paradoxical outcome, I think I've got him. He plays out another Psy, so he can flash back that commit memory. So I'm wondering what that last card... He flashes back commit memory, so this is big trouble because he gets to draw 7 cards and he will have enough mana for the paradoxical outcome as well. You can see I found 2 sweltering suns. They can clean up the Thoppers. But I'm just sitting here waiting. Is there a paradoxical? If there is, he's going to... I don't think he can get it done on this turn. There it is there. So you can see he bounces a whole ton. He bounces Inspiring Statuary, so he doesn't have the, what do you call it? No, sorry, he didn't bounce the Inspiring Statuary. So you can still tap all these artifacts for lands. So now it's just a case of being able to cast enough. You can see he's got 16 cards in hand. It's ridiculous. My chances of surviving this turn is like 0. Once he can pick it up to 50, above 50, he can just concede. And I think that's the one that does it. At 52, so I concede that match. We go to game 2. Game 2, you can see I've got Lost Legacy in hand. I just need to hit a second black source. I actually have decent stuff to fight on this turn, so I bring in, I think, 4 Duress, 4 Negates, and a Lost Legacy, and 2 Abrades. So I take out a couple, like Chandra, the slower Planeswalker. Here's Inspiring Statuary, so I'm just going to take this down to force him to use his own mana to play spells. And I was really hoping to hit a black source. I think I would have won the match if I the match would have been over if I had the black source there, but I didn't. So he discards a Fountain of Renewal. This Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh, I think I've only ever cast it once. This is the 3rd or 4th week I've played this deck. I've cast it once because I've always been in positions where I could cast it, like I've had the mana, but it's just never been a good time. So I'm thinking of cutting that from the list, actually. And this actually was a really good card for him. And the Inspiring Statuary, you can see he taps down my Bolas. And it's going to bounce all the creatures. I kind of don't mind too much here because my Blade Wing, I can't kick it. But I'm going to be able to kick it next turn. Now, the thing that I didn't get, I misinterpreted, is I thought my Bolas would untap because it didn't untap on my upkeep on the last turn. I thought it would untap on the next turn, but you can see it doesn't. I'm still confused about that. I don't know why. I can only pass a turn, so Time of Ice is going to bounce everything. You can see he's only got 1 card in hand, so I'm still an outside chance. Still praying to hit that black source. But he's not doing anything with 2 cards in hand, so I do suspect there's a counter spell, so I'm going to fire out some dragons first to try and bait whatever it is. And there it is, it's a commit memory. So again, he's down to 1 card, but unfortunately for me, again, that 1 card is Paradoxical Outcome. So he draws 6, so you can see he's going to have a full grip next turn. Plays out Sai. Again, I don't really mind too much with Sai. I think I just have better tools to be able to beat him eventually with it, particularly for Glorybringers to take him down, but ultimately my draws just go bad here. You can see he's down to 2 cards again. Again, I don't care about all these artifacts, but with his 1 card in hand again, you can see I can play Bolas now if I wanted to. I'm going to play Verix instead, just so I can have 2 blockers so I don't get the beatdowns from the Thoppers, and I can also start threatening him, because if that last card in hand is not a paradoxical outcome, I think I'm okay, and it's not. It's a blink of an eye, so he's playing off the top of his deck now. Although he did draw the card. Again, the lifelink I don't care about. So here's the card. You can see I've gone a long time, about 8 turns without hitting the second black source. So I can no longer name with Flux Reservoir because he only needs 1. And again, he taps out, so he's got nothing. So again, I can use a black source if I can hit. I'll name paradoxical outcome. I think if I can get the black at this point and name paradoxical outcome, I think I still win, despite that huge board, because I'm eventually going to hit one of my either my Glorybringer to remove Psi, or Sweltering Suns to clean it up. But here's a huge play. He draws 7 cards, but you can see no blue source. So I'm going to get one chance with these 7 cards. I lose my Lost Legacy, which was massive, and so now I've got nothing. He's got an Aetherflux Reservoir, so the writing's kind of on the wall. I'm going to skip ahead here. I start to get the beatdowns. You can see I've drawn Duress, but I've just got nothing going on. Once he untaps, I took his Reverse Engineer, so he can't draw anything else. He's up to 37 now. 39. He's got 2 sides, so I'm just straight up dead here. I think I concede pretty soon. He'll play out the 2 sides. Legend rule doesn't matter. That's not how he's going to kill me. Goes to 46. He's going to play the next side. There it is, and it will kill me. So I concede the match. On to modern here. This was a risky keep. 5 lands of a Noble Hierarch. If he's on anything. My thinking here is that I've got so many lands in my opening hand, I should be able to get a good 3-drop. Scavenging Ooze is normally not bad, but it looks like he's on Tron, so Scavenging Ooze is not fantastic. So across my, you can see I got the Ghost Quarter here, so I'm sort of thinking I don't want to use my Ghost Quarter next turn. So I'm crossing my fingers, and it worked. He didn't have the second Tron piece. I think if he didn't have the second Tron piece, I was pretty confident I could beat him. Relic is a nuisance because one of my big win cons is Knight of Reliquary, and it does a pretty good job of shrinking them. I'm not sure why he cast Relic on his own Chromatic Star, maybe just habit. So now he's a turn away, and he's got the Tron piece, but I can play Teferi this turn, so what I do is I play Ghost Quarter out, plus Teferi, and then untap the Ghost Quarter. I have a slight misplay here. It doesn't make a huge difference. I could have Ghost Quartered him now or in his own turn. I'd just do it in his own turn. If I Ghost Quartered him now, the land would come in untapped anyway, because he wants to crack the Relic. So I wait for him to draw the card, then I sacrifice yours as mine. The only reason I do that is sometimes, I know these green Tron decks play a lot of green lands now, but sometimes you can get them drawing their only source, their only basic left, and then so they've got nothing to fetch. So now you can see he's played out his second Tron piece. And so here I'm thinking, what's he going to do? He's kind of forced to, if he wants to take down my Hierarch, then I can use Scavenging Ooze to boost myself, but he takes down my Scavenging Ooze. And so now I'm kind of a bit nervous. Have a look at what the card is first. I miss a play here. I should have kept one of my own lands. And also I should have played out the Noble Hierarch. I should mention that I'm playing this game at like 1:45 in the morning for me. I was actually in bed and Lorenzo messaged me and said, so I quickly got up to play just to get the game out of the way. So fingers crossed, and again he doesn't hit the Tron piece or a way to find it. So at this stage I'm looking at that life total 13. I think I'm in pretty good shape. I intend to flash in a Spell Queller here. Just to put an additional pressure on him. But then he plays out this Ballista, which is like the best target in the whole deck almost for Spell Queller to hit. Because Ballista just comes back as a 0/0. So it's effectively killing the Ballista. So now I plus Teferi, Voice of Resurgence, just to add a bit of oomph to the board. Still the Wreckage is terrible, that's coming out. So I just get in with the Spell Queller, put him to 9, so I've actually got lethal on board next turn, because if I flash in the Spell Queller here. I'm looking out for Oblivion Stone, so you can see he's played this first. I don't know if this is a bait to try and get me when he does have the Tron land to follow up. If he did have the Tron land to follow up, I had no answer to it anyway, so I just take out the Sylvan Scrying. You can see the Oblivion Stone is too late. I can just activate Celestial Colonnade here and get in for the full 9. And I think he realised that, so he conceded. So we're on to game 2. Again, I'm looking at Field of Ruin, and I'm also looking at a risky 2-land keep. But Noble Hierarch against a deck that traditionally doesn't have early interactive creature removal, I don't really mind. Worst case scenario, I can play Hold Up Negate it anyway. Again, he doesn't hit that Tron piece, so it means I've got 2 turns before he's on Tron. So next turn I'm looking at either Knight of the Reliquary, which would enable me to sack my lands to get Ghost Quarters, but then I draw a Ghost Quarter anyway, so I change plan. I'm going to go Corsair to help me hit land drops, because I'm kind of expecting some sort of interaction here where he's going to be able to start taking down my, like an Oblivion Stone or something, so I have to prepare for that. Tower, and there's the Oblivion Stone, so now I'm in big trouble next turn if he's got Tron. Again, a Vendilion click. So I don't want this click at the moment. I would have loved to have Field of Ruin here, but I think it's better to get some pressure on the board. We can start pressuring his life total. You can see I've got the Ghost Quarter, so if he does have something next turn, I've got it covered. I'll wait for his draw step again. Ghost Quarter the tower. So I know he's not playing Oblivion Stone this turn, like not cracking the stone this turn. So he plays a forest, which is absolutely terrible. It means he's still 2 turns away from Tron. And Thought Not Seer, I think he takes my negate, which is probably, for me, is the card I didn't want him to take. You can see I'm 2 turns away from Teferi, I'm a turn away from Jace. And Knight of the Reliquary is covered by his O-Stone. So if he hits a land next turn, Knight's irrelevant. So he takes my negate. And so here I'm thinking my play is that I'm going to hold up Field of Ruin. If he plays a Tron land, I'm going to Field of Ruin because I don't want that Birds of Paradise. I want to shuffle it away and get something else. So we wait and see. He can't play Oblivion Stone this turn, which is a big one. There's the land there. So that enables me, see, if he had that land, I would have been forced to, into a different play. He's going to have Tron next turn for sure. So what I'm going to do now, double block to get a card draw, and before the damage I actually crack my Field of Ruin so I can draw potentially a better card. So I'm going to take down Power Plant to make sure he doesn't have Tron next turn. You can see he's tapping Expedition Map, so he's gone and replaced the plant that he had. So that suggests to me that he has the 3rd piece in hand. And you can see off the top, I'm going to get Stony Silence, so that is an awesome top deck. I can't fire that card off fast enough, so Oblivion Stone is not going to stop me now. So what I'm looking at now is at 6 mana, so he's going to have Tron next turn, because he's got the Sylvan Scrying. You can see he knows he's safe from the Spell Queller. At this stage, I was really surprised he got that Urza's Factory. I don't understand what he was doing there. He could have got Tron, but he just declined. The only thing I'm thinking of is so he can start pumping out 2/2 jump blocker for the Corsair each turn, but he knows I've got the click and the Spell Queller. So on his draw step here, I flash in Vendilion click just to see what he's got. You can see he drew a relic, so I'm not going to take anything because he can't even crack the relic because of Stony Silence. And now even if he wants to make He's a land short. I think he miscalculates here. Even if he wants to make the user's factory, it doesn't matter. I can chip him for 4 with the Vendilion click. So Jace the Mind Sculptor is live here. And I think I actually kind of misplayed this. Initially, when I flashed in the Hallowed Fountain untapped, I was looking at Jace the Mind Sculptor. So I was going to just start storming him, or whatever you call it. But instead, what I went for the Knight, because I thought if the Knight survives this turn, then I can, obviously he's got Tron, but Knight can actually tap and just start getting Ghost Quarters and shut him off. So we move to Legacy, I take down Modern 2 games to 0, and that moves me to the top of the Modern rankings, pending the result of Dylan's Magicka's game against Marcus D. So I'm on Blue-Red Delver here. This is like, if you have limited time, you should stop watching now, because I make so many brain explosions in this game. So many misplays here and there. I did say to myself after this, I'm actually going to sit down and properly go through particularly my Standard and Legacy, and fix up my decks to how I like them. These are all net decks. At this stage, Lotus Petal gives it away. He's on show and tell. So you can see my hand, it's absolute crap. So I'm trying to find a counter spell here. There's nothing there, so I have to... Actually, I don't shuffle it away. I take the Flooded Strand and then shuffle it away, so that I can brainstorm into something if required. He plays the City of Traders, so Days isn't an option here. And I actually, this is like one of my massive punts, because I was half asleep. And so what I do, I crack, I brainstorm. So you can see I find the Force of Will, but I actually clicked the wrong button on X-Mage to let the show and tell resolve. I was meant to counter it with the Force of Will. I didn't roll back because I thought he's probably got a counter spell anyway, so I'm going to concede and get a game 2. At that stage I was quite tired. Not making excuses, but I can reasonably assume with 3 cards in hand he's either got the counter spell to counter my counter, or he has a second show and tell. I bought in this Parastatic Pillar, which is whenever somebody plays a spell 3 mana or less, it does 2 damage. The reason for that is that I can't fight through his creatures, so I want to try and burn him out. At this stage I'm thinking, do I fire off the Ponder when Scarmage has got Summoning Sickness? And I do, because I'm kind of aggressively digging for counter spells here. So I shuffle. But you can see he's got a full grip, 7 cards, up to 8 cards in hand. And second Force of Will, now, this one is okay. But the problem here is that because I know his deck plays Grizzlebrand, so I only have 2 Vapor Snacks. So if we have a war, which we're going to here, I'm going to lose my 2 Vapor Snacks. Of course, I can't let the show and tell resolve. I have to fight this. And I'm amazed at this point that my Force of Will resolves. He doesn't have a second counter spell. You can see the Parastatic Pillar doing decent work there. So 2 options here, either Storm Chaser or Lightning Bolt. So I go for the Lightning Bolt because I want to suggest that I might have something like a Spell Pierce, so I don't want to tap out, because Daze is useless in this position. You can pay the Daze tax. But here I'm at the mercy of show and tell. What have you got? And just to rub salt in the wound, he's got a Grizzlebrand. I can still win here with a Price of Progress off the top. But once Grizzlebrand hits, it's gone. And so I'm going to concede, and Lorenzo takes it 2-1 and extends his lead at the top of the division, picking up 8 points to 4.